This clip is sponsored by Med Travelers. If you're an SLP interested in travel therapy, visit medtravelers.com to get started. I want to talk a little bit about natural language acquisition,
Yes.
NLA, and because I know this ties into your work so much as well.
Yes.
So for those of us like myself, who this was a newer concept, would you define that natural language acquisition and tell us a little bit about what that is?
Yeah, so let me kind of give a super quick background before I get into that.
Please.
So kids that communicate with delayed echolalia are gestalt language processors. So this is the way that they process and develop language. The thing that is shocking to a lot of speech pathologists and parents really is that there are two ways to develop language. And I think as SLPs, we were taught in graduate school about just one path, and that's analytic language processing or development. So a kid babbles, and then they have one word, and then two words, and three words, and then phrases and sentences. And that's the buildup of how language develops. Well, for our gestalt processors, it's actually almost the reverse. So they're starting out with longer chunks or units of language, which we call gestalts or scripts, because gestalt means a whole. And then what they're doing in their development journey is they're breaking down those scripts, mixing and matching in what we call stage 2. And in stage 3, they're finally understanding or processing single words as units. And in stage 4, they are developing their own novel sentences, phrases with beginning grammar. And that's where NLA or natural language acquisition comes in. Marge Blanc coined that term, and it is the framework of this gestalt language development and helping a child move through these stages. So stage 1, delayed echolalia, stage 2, mix and match the gestalts, and stage 3, single words, and stage 4, beginning grammar. There is a stage 5 and 6, and that is more advanced grammar. But I tell most SLPs that's what you already know. I think most SLPs feel good about stages 3 through 6. We're like, yeah, words, beginning grammar, advanced grammar, we got that. I think a lot of the confusion lies in stages 1 and 2 because an SLP will hear a kid scripting and they're immediately like, let's get rid of that, you need more words. Whereas a kid that's in stage 1, they actually need more scripts. And the more scripts that we give them, the more opportunity they will have to mix and match those when they're ready for stage 2. I hope that makes sense.
It does. And it almost sounds like you have to, if you've learned it one way, you almost have to unlearn it to then but then to do it this way is actually going to be more beneficial. So I love that. And SLPs, we love a framework. We love a process. We want to know, like, okay, first this, then this. So it sounds like this allows and gives a framework, but also is based on each individual because, as we know, no two present the same. So is that correct in how I'm understanding it?
It is. And there's just so much more to all of this that we probably don't have time to dig into in a podcast. Yeah. But I post about a lot of this on my social media that people can check out. But, stage 1 looks very different for different kids. A script to one kid could actually be a single word, but it's like a full unit to them. And then to other kids, it's this extremely long movie line that they picked up from somewhere. And then for others, it can sound quote unquote functional, like I need a blanket, but it's actually a script that they say every single time they sit on the couch. So it can look very different for different kids in stage 1. And I talk about how we can identify this in kids and how we respond to them and what we can do to help support them through their language development journey.